Hey everyone, my name is Mackenzie. I did my speech with Wallace Stevens' poem, The Emperor of Ice Cream. So the theme of that poem is really live life before time runs out, or eat the ice cream before it melts. It's pretty simple. So with the social sciences, the sciences, and the humanities of it, the social sciences explores how people react differently with people dying or family situations, things like that. The sciences bring up data of why people die, how did they die, how many per year, things like that. And then the humanities is the culture of it, like, and what culture do people die more in, or things like that. So to dive in a little bit deeper, the social sciences, they look up the reaction. So I looked up an article based off of this, and it was written by a bunch of different artists, or authors, not artists, but they looked at how parents dealt with their kids dying. How did that affect them after a few months, a year, so on and so forth. So it was proven that parents that had kids that died, whether by suicide or car accident, things like that, maternity failure, whatever it is, it's more than likely they die earlier than someone that has their kids still living, and they normally die with a heart disease. And that's normally a case of like loneliness or heartbreak. Believe it or not, that's a thing. So that's really what that's about with the social sciences, just to give you a little example of it. With the sciences, the data, the realistics of it, that comes in with why did they die? How did they die? What was the reason given? So one of the reasons that I looked at was tobacco. If people smoked so much, that's the reason why they died. But it wasn't just that. It was how could you go in with public health systems and fix that problem so people don't die as much from it. So Arthur Pratt, I cannot pronounce his last name to save my life, so I'm not going to try. Arthur Pratt, he wrote an article about he did a study on people who did tobacco and the public health systems that tried to put regulations in place to stop that. So where he was at, it was South Asia or South America. They put in place a tax, a really high tax on tobacco, and this made some people stop because they couldn't afford it, and so that helped with people from dying of that sense. But then there's also the problems with, well, they're still gonna do it either way. So you can't really help some situations like that. You can help with maybe suicides, just being there for that person that's trying to go through that. Not really anything else you can do other than just be a statistic. But last but not least, humanities. So the culture. How do people die in a culture? Well, one of the biggest examples I could give you of this is a church, a culture of a church. So one of the most popular is the Roman Catholic Church. They are a very, I don't want to say controlling, but it is controlling. They're very judgmental. If you don't go by their rules, then you're either an outcast, you get punished, or you even get killed from it. So if you are killed based off of what you do to disrupt whatever rules that you go through, then that's a cultural death, and that's what really the humanities comes through it is. Or a cultural death could be, I don't really know any other examples, to be honest, but that's the example I went with in my paper, was the Roman Catholic Church. So there's a lot of different ways that death can be looked at. The sciences bring out the data of it. The social sciences bring out the reactions of people, and then the humanities brings out the culture of it. There's all different ways of how people could die, why people die, and how people react and cope with it. It's all in the matter of how do you live and how do you leave your mark before you do die. So that's really just something for you guys to think about. I know me, I'm a very lifeful person. So I like to think about. I love enjoying life, and that's my advice to you, talking about death, which is very gloomy. But all you can do is live for you and be happy. So I hope this helps you guys just a little bit, and you'll have a great day and enjoy the rest of quarantine.